सबको सुमार को लाने को, दुर्योधन को समझाने को भगवान हस्तिनापुर आए, पांडव का संदेशा लाए। दो न्याय अगर तो आधा दो, दो न्याय अगर तो आधा दो, पर उसमें भी यदि बाधा हो तो दे दो केवल 5 ग्राम। रखो अपनी धरती तमाम, हम वही खुशी से खाएंगे, परिजन पर हंसी न उठाएंगे। दुर्योधन वो भी दे सकेगा, दुर्योधन वो भी दे न सका, आशीष समाज की ले न सका। उल्टे हरि को बांधने चला, जो था असाध्य साधने चला। डगमग डगमग दिग्गज डोले, भगवान कुपित होकर बोले, बांधने मुझे तू आया है, जंजीर बड़ी क्या लाया है। गर मुझे बांधना चाहे मन, तो पहले बांध अनंत गगन। सोने को साध न सकता है, गर मुझे बांध कब सकता है।
এলেন, কথা বললেন, মন জয় করে নিলেন হাজার হাজার ভক্তদের, এমনটাই বলা যায় তার সম্পর্কে। তিনি 3 বারের জাতীয় চলচ্চিত্র পুরস্কার বিজয়ী এবং পদ্মশ্রী অভিনেতা মনোজ বাজপেয়ী। 29তম কলকাতা আন্তর্জাতিক চলচ্চিত্র উৎসবে মাস্টার ক্লাস বিভাগে বক্তৃতা দেওয়ার জন্য 11 ডিসেম্বর তিনি উপস্থিত হয়েছিলেন কলকাতায় নন্দনে সিনে উৎসবে। তার আগে মিডিয়া সেন্টারে অনুষ্ঠিত এক সাংবাদিক সম্মেলনে হাসি মুখে একে একে উত্তর দিলেন সাংবাদিকদের করা সকল প্রশ্নের। তার কণ্ঠে হিন্দি কবিতার আবৃত্তি ছিল বিশেষ প্রাপ্তি। এবার শুনে নেওয়া যাক মনোজ বাজপেয়ীর এই বিশেষ সাক্ষাৎকারটি।
Actually, first of all, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for coming and taking effort in covering my session. To answer your question, I must tell you that I'm always very thankful to NST. When I look back, I also realize how much they made me work just so that I could get into National School Grammar. It will always be an ideal institution for me, and I wish I could be 25 again so that I could try all over again to get into National School Grammar. That's the kind of place it has in my mind, and I'll always be grateful to them for really making me work harder on myself outside the institute. And now I go there with all the humility. I go there, I'm invited to take few sessions for the children there, and I always come back so enriched. When I come back, I interact with the students, the teachers, and so many senior teachers who are my directors outside. So you learn quite a lot just by being there, and what a fantastic theatre institute that we have in this country. But it is also very sad that we are not taking great care of it. I think I will give all the credit to my father, because after the division of the land, he was left with almost nothing, and he had 6 children to bring up, and without any malice, without any frustration, without feeling really bogged down by the situations of the family, circumstances of the family. He made sure that each and every child at least become graduate, and he succeeded in doing that. And other than that, he always wanted us to just fly using our wings. I think I'm the child of that father who always took a back seat when it came to taking major decisions. He left it to my mother. So my mother was someone who was taking all the major decisions of our life, for the family. It was never my father. People ask me, don't you think that women of the country should be empowered? And I'm puzzled. Because from my childhood, I have seen a woman who was completely empowered, and we were so scared of my own mother, and also felt indebted to her for really bringing us up so well, and in an environment which has helped us, in the long run, in whatever we all have chosen to do in our life. So yes, it was feudal earlier, my family, but with the division of land, suddenly we were almost at the lower rank of the society. But it was thanks to my father and his no-die attitude that we managed to live well and get good education. I think everything about me and the democratization that we're talking about, it all came from him. Very rarely I watch Hindi films. I watch good Bengali films, Malayalam films. Most of the time, on OTT platforms, I'm mostly watching Kannada films or Malayalam films or Bengali films or Tamil films, the films which matter to me. I'm a fan of mainstream films, but sadly, mainstream films have not been making great films. I want my country's mainstream cinema to really deal with a good story, a story which is rooted like it used to be earlier in 70s, in 60s. Mr. Bachchan was a mainstream superstar, and all his characters were so rooted. They were really representing this society. And then the heroes never looked anything else. They always looked like they are the people, they're the real representative of the masses. But over the years, we lost those heroes. Now our heroes are mostly Greek gods that we are not. And Nawazuddin Siddiqui in his interview he said such a nice thing, that people call me and Manoj Bajpayee unconventional actors. Actually, we are the most conventional people, because that's how the entire country looks like. Okay? The people who are looking like Greek gods are unconventional, because that's not how mostly the Indians look like. So yeah, I watch all kind of films, but since the coming of OTT, it has given us a chance to watch all the films that we missed out earlier because of those films not being accessible to us. I'm actually going to use this opportunity of being in Calcutta to my advantage. My film Joram has released, and this is a very important film of my career. It is getting rave reviews and applause from the audience, whoever has gone and watched it. So I want my media friends to really write about it, watch it, write about it, review it, and spread the word, because now is the time when these kind of films start working or getting audience inside the theater viewing will be back to its normal self, because with the films which people are going to watch are all pot boilers, right? They should also get the same respect as all the mainstream commercial films. And for that, it is very important that the media people spread the word, encourage the audience to get inside the theater and watch such a magnificent film that Devashish Makhija, who is from Calcutta, so that these directors or like-minded directors can get encouragement, get infused to make these kind of films more and more. Now, I don't get intimidated by the expectations, because I expect a lot from my own self, more than the audience expect. Their expectation, I have to meet the expectation that I have from my actor. I work very hard. I choose very carefully and intelligently. So I'm never thinking about what audience is going to expect from me. I'm always thinking about, will I rise to the occasion? Will I be an improved actor? Will I do something very different? I'm always on that lookout. As an audience also, when I was not in cinema, I was doing theater, I have seen many of the actors come and gone, right? Do we talk about Dilip Saab now? No. Shaumitri Chatterjee Saab? No. Ray Saab? Not that much. So what happens, such greats, who are part of our life, Suddenly, once they are gone, when you're sitting and talking about cinema, that is the time you talk about Mr. Ray. Otherwise, you're just moving on with your life. So that's the truth. That once you exit from the scene, everything is gone. So that kind of always make me much more humble and force me to really approach my profession with a lot of humility. I am thankful not only to God but also to the audience and the directors for giving me all the choices. But I also know that I have to make the most of it before I leave and feel satisfied looking at my filmography, because everything else is temporary.
पहली बात तो मैं सबसे दरखास्त करूंगा कि बॉलीवुड मत बोलिए, कृपया करके बॉलीवुड मत बोलिए। मुझे बहुत दुख होता है, दर्द होता है। दूसरी बात ये कि देखिए, मेरे पिताजी चाहते थे कि मैं डॉक्टर बनूं, कभी उन्होंने फोर्स नहीं किया मुझे। लेकिन जो लोग बनना चाहते हैं, चाहे कोई लड़का हो या लड़की हो, एक लड़की ने मुझे कहा कि मैं भी इंडस्ट्री में आना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन मेरे परिवार वाले नहीं मान रहे हैं। तो मैंने कहा, नहीं मान रहे हैं तो भगवान ने तुम्हें पंख दिए हैं, उड़ जाओ। क्योंकि मैं भी झूठ बोल के भाग गया था। मैंने कहा था कि मैं यूपीएससी की तैयारी करने जा रहा हूँ दिल्ली, जबकि मैं थिएटर करने जा रहा था। तो दे हैव टू फाइंड अ वे। जब मैं वहां पर था तो उस समय कम्युनिकेशन का बहुत बड़ा, इतना डेवलप्ड कम्युनिकेशन नहीं था, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन रोड्स अच्छे नहीं थे। पटना पहुंचने में मुझे 2 दिन लग गया था, और पटना से फिर एक ट्रेन पकड़ी जिसमें रिजर्वेशन नहीं था। तो अपने दोस्त के रिजर्वेशन को यूज करके मैं नीचे सोया, वो ऊपर सोया, वो कभी नीचे सोया, मैं कभी ऊपर सोया, करते हुए मैं दिल्ली आ गया। आपको अपना रास्ता बनाना पड़ेगा, किसी भी तरीके से वो काम करना है जिस काम को करने में आपको प्रसन्नता हो रही। क्योंकि जिंदगी भर अगर आप वो काम करेंगे जो आप करना नहीं चाह रहे थे, तो आप तनाव में रहेंगे और अपने परिवार को भी तनाव देंगे। आई वुड से इट्स व्हाट यू चूज, इट्स अप टू यू, इट्स अप टू द ऑडियंस। यू कांट आस्क फिल्म मेकर्स टू मेक अ फिल्म ऑफ योर चॉइस। he or she is going to make a film of his own choice, her own choice. We can't, if we want this democracy to really thrive, we can't ask them not to make it. Or we can't ask for protest, we can't ask for ban. No. That particular director is looking at his story in that manner, let him express himself. But at the same time, Devashish Makhija is making Joram, where women are celebrated, right? So there has to be place for everyone. There has to be space for everyone. I always believed that had cinema had any kind of influence on the society, this society would have been a heaven. Because mostly the films that we have made carried great messages, and we glorified women. We glorified good family values. But has it changed? No. So cinema or the stories, they take from society and they put it out there on screen, not vice versa. भाषा से बहुत प्रेम है, क्योंकि हमारे सारे भाव को हम भाषा के जरिए ही लोगों तक पहुंचाते हैं। अगर प्रेमी प्रेमिका अपनी एक दूसरे की आंखों में देखते रह जाएं 1 साल तक, तो कुछ हो नहीं पाएगा। उच्चारण या डिक्शन जिसको कहते हैं, उसके लिए मुझे कविताओं का बड़ा शौक रहा बचपन से, और मैं दोहा प्रतियोगिता में हिस्सा लेता था। तो उच्चारण को लेकर के हमेशा सही बोलना है। अंग्रेजी सही, अगर अंग्रेजी बोल रहा हूं तो सही बोलूं, भोजपुरी बोल रहा हूं तो सही बोलूं, हिंदी बोल रहा हूं तो सही बोलूं। इस पे बहुत ज़्यादा एक सजग रहा हूं मैं, और उसको लेकर लगातार प्रयत्न करता रहा। कविताओं ने मुझे भाषा के प्रति मेरे प्रेम को और गहरा किया, उच्चारण के प्रति वो प्रेम और गहरा हुआ। तो कविताएं अगर लोग पढ़ें, और अलग अलग कविताएं चाहे नई हो चाहे पुरानी हो, उससे आपकी भाषा, संवाद, अदायगी और उच्चारण सारे सही हो जाते हैं. OTT has completely democratized the whole industry all across. Now, just 5 minutes back, I was talking about watching Bengali films and Malayalam films and Kannada films. Okay, and even during the pandemic, most of the North Indians are watching, films from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and so many stars suddenly sprung up during pandemic itself. So that itself is a testimony or the proof how OTTs has helped the entire film industry, coming into one. And RRR and Bahubali and all of these, and so many Pushpa, if they are, they are popular that side, but they are also very much popular in North. Okay. But to add to that, I must tell you, Alu Arjun, Junior NTR, Ramcharan, all of them are very popular in the villages or the small towns of India. हम लोग जागरूक हैं, हम लोग अवेयर सिटीजन्स हैं. हम समाज ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हेल्दी हो, डेमोक्रेटिक हो, सब लोग साथ में रहें और सबको समान अधिकार मिले. मुझसे लोग पूछते हैं कई बार कि क्या आप फेमिनिस्ट हैं. मैं कहता हूँ मैं फेमिनिस्ट नहीं हूँ, लेकिन मैं इक्वालिटी में बहुत ज़्यादा बिलीव करता हूँ. उसके लिए मुझे फेमिनिस्ट होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. बड़ा कॉमन सेंस है कि जो आदमी काबिल जितना है उसको उसका हक मिलना चाहिए, और समाज में हर आदमी दूसरे के बराबर में हो. ये बड़ी बेसिक सी बात है. इसके लिए कोई इज्म को फॉलो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. पता है आपको, बंगाली हो सकता है कि मैं ज्यादा आसान लगे मेरे लिए, तमिल तेलुगु तो ऊपर सर के ऊपर जाता था. तो बांग्ला फिल्म अगर कोई बहुत ही बेहतरीन स्क्रिप्ट आएगी तो क्यों नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि ये भोजपुरी के बहुत पास है. नहीं, तो जब होगा तो जरूर करूंगा, क्यों नहीं करूंगा.
Definitely. It is every director's wish to work with an actor like him.
जब हम लोग when we were doing theatre, so extensively we were watching films by these greats. Okay, so when you are studying and doing research on these greats and watching their films, definitely the actor is getting enriched. How Mr. Ray, dealt with his actors, how he directed them, what kind of expectations he had from his actors, what kind of expectation Melanda had from his actors, how he directed his actors, or Mr. Ritik Khatta. So we used to read or get some information from the people who already worked with these greats. I'm always very curious to meet any actor who's been directed by any of these greats, because I really want to know what are the things that he used to say, what are the things that he used to share with you guys, and how he was on the set with you. So I'm like Mr. Om Puri. Many times I used to ask him, how was Mr. Ray with you, and what kind of direction he used to give to you. Or Sharmila ji, I have worked with her in Gulmohar, okay, and it has done extremely well on OTT. I used to ask her, because she had worked in 3 or 4 films with him, about his direction, about his expectation from the actor. So you are always getting enriched if you're really interested in growing as an actor. I wanted to become an actor, and I didn't have option B. So option A is something that I worked for and worked very hard. When I got rejected for the first time, for 1 month, my friends used to really be with me all the time, because they saw me completely breaking down. It was kind of a nervous breakdown for me. But they took care of me. And after that, there was a workshop announced by a very famous theatre group there, 365 days workshop. And my friends paid. They contributed, and they paid my fees for the workshop, and they pushed me to attend those workshops, and then everything was forgotten.